Welcome, 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 deep divers, to the deep dive. I am absolutely fired up today because we are diving deep, really deep into the season 13 premiere of Me and the Boys Wrestling. Seriously, it was wild, just completely chaotic, jaw-dropping stuff. Forget what you thought was going to happen. This premiere was, well, it felt like a declaration of war. So our mission, as always, is to sift through all that action, the unexpected turns, the rivalries boiling over. We're going to pull out the key insights, answer some of those big questions about what it all means for the season. And I'm thrilled to be doing this with my partners here. One always has his finger on the pulse of strategy, the other connecting all those long-term dots. Let's get into it.
It was definitely an eventful start, Bookerman. What hit me right away was, well, how they wasted zero time setting this really aggressive tone. It screams a season where, brutality and just getting the upper hand might outweigh everything else.
Yeah, and if you connect that to the bigger picture, it's not just random chaos, right? It feels like a deliberate attempt to shake up the power dynamics. We're probably looking at a season dominated by factions where even the established heroes are going to be vulnerable. That's kind of the lens we should use here, I think.
Yeah, absolutely hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
I mean, we barely settled in before that ambush backstage. DMP gets jumped by Quick Draw, Wildman, and the Reaper from the Disciples of Darkness, and it was brutal. 2-on-1, DMP's a super heavyweight, but they used a bat, chairs, and then that double choke slam right on the concrete. Ouch. Just intensely brutal.
What stood out, though, was DMP actually fighting back, despite the odds. It was remarkable resilience. But that kind of violence, before a show even properly starts, especially in someone not even booked, it just ramps up the aggression level for the whole season immediately. Makes you question the motive.
Exactly. Was it just like taking DMP out so he couldn't interfere later because the DOD did have a tag match? Or is it maybe something else? The whispers about DMP getting his hands so they don't belong, maybe it connects back to past stuff, like that whole gingerbread fiasco. Remember that chaos? Or when the lights went out mid-match, whatever the reason, he looked hurt bad, probably out for a week, maybe two. And that absence, it definitely impacts his rivalries, maybe even sparks new ones before he's even back. It's a clear signal. Nobody's safe. Doesn't matter how big a name you are.
That's a really critical point about the long-term impact. Okay, so from that shocker, we went straight into the five-way ladies tables match. And wow, what a lineup. You had Winter's Black debuting for the Disciples of Darkness, Hurt and Heel. Killjoy's groupies, right? Then Diamond Danielle, Heart-Wrencher filling in after Xyna got jumped, and Francine Fingers making her official debut. Packed.
Yeah, packed and intense, right from the bell. Heart-Wrencher, gone in under 2 minutes. Bit of a surprise for a Dreadnoks reinforcement, honestly. But what really caught my eye was Diamond Danielle. Just incredibly aggressive, even for a tables match. I mean, whipping someone into an unpadded buckle.
Yeah.
Using the ring post, chalk in the eyes.
Yeah.
And then pulling out brass knuckles. Those aren't exactly subtle tactics.
No kidding. She was going all out. And then remember that weird moment? The table just refused to break. Like, it was set up perfectly. Slam happens, and nope. Still standing. Maybe it was reinforced concrete. Anyway, the whole thing ends in a time limit draw.
Right, a draw. So for anyone listening, that just means time ran out before anyone got a pin, submission, or count out. It's a classic way to build tension, keep a feud going. And this one definitely did that. It led straight to a one-on-one rematch on the overtime show. Francine Fingers got the win there, but you just know this thing between Danielle and Francine. It's far from over. The aggression, the draw, it's just laid the groundwork for a really hot feud.
Okay, so sticking with that theme of outside factors shaping things, let's talk the mixed tag match. Zartan and his daughter Zagna, with Puma, Frenchie, and Torch from Puma's Den Wingside against the Insanity Effect, Delil, and Lady Strain.
And Zagna. Man, she was an absolute beast in there. We heard she was dominant elsewhere, and you could totally see why. Just a force. Lived up to the hype.
She was definitely impressive, no doubt. But the finish raises that big question again, doesn't it? About managers, factions, how much they really impact these key matches. Puma distracting the ref, that directly led to Zartan hitting that ridiculous vertical pile driver for the win. It kind of shows how strategy or maybe manipulation can beat pure skill in Me and the Boys. You got to think, one-on-one, maybe Zartan doesn't win that. So it's more than just a victory. It's like a statement. External forces matter, and I bet we see more of that.
Yeah, it perfectly leads into the faction warfare escalating, the six-man knockout match. Think Survivor Series style, right? Eliminate everyone on the other team. It was the Inner Circles group, Angelo King, HRS, Jackson Briggs, some new faces too, versus Puma's Den with Frenchie, Torch, Demolisher, Road Pig, other dreadnoughts. High stakes, brutal, supposed to end by knockout.
It really was something. The toughness on display was incredible, especially Jackson Briggs. I mean, somehow he survives the spike pile driver and multiple Stroop effects, those disorienting shots Stroop uses. He just kept getting up. Seriously, after multiple, like, borderline illegal moves and maybe 5 of those Stroop shots, so many finishers were hit, huge tag moves, and nobody was getting knocked out. It was nuts.
Absolutely unbelievable. And the craziest part, in a knockout match, the only elimination was Frenchie by countout. Couldn't get back in the ring in time, so the inner circle gets the clean sweep in the end. Wild finish. Okay, so if we connect this back to the bigger picture, it really shines a light on Puma's Den, doesn't it? They're called the biggest faction, full of double-crossers and cheats, all led by Puma. They're not just trying to win matches. It feels like they're aiming for a total takeover, just destroying the competition. And that raises a huge question about, the balance in me and the boys wrestling. If this keeps up, what happens? We're already seeing new people show up, trying to even the scores, so the tension's just building. That clean sweep for the inner circle could be a really pivotal moment in this war.
Speaking of just destroying competition, we saw Buzzsaw Butcher beat King Dominator, right? Solid win, but then boom, right after the match, Puma's Den jumps King Dominator, takes him out. Just more proof of their whole take no prisoners style. Sending a message. Absolutely. Cold-blooded stuff. And then there was that non-title tag match. The champs, Bad Attitude and Frankie Fingers against the new guys, the Maple Leaf Wrecking Crew. And the Wrecking Crew, honestly, they got their butts kicked for most of it. But then they snag a cheap count-out win. Just like that, they're in a triple threat tag title match.
That's right. And just to clarify for everyone, this triple threat, it's elimination style. So you got to beat both other teams, not just get the first fall, like in a tornado tag.
Yeah.
And joining them and the champs will be Warboy and Kid Flip. You remember them. They dominated the Helicopter Boys recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, the tag title picture just got really complicated. It's going to take serious strategy to win that one.
Definitely shaking things up. And speaking of things not getting settled easily, another time limit draw, this time in the #1 contenders match. Mr. Patterson and Todd the Emberkind versus Quick Draw, Wildman, and the Reaper from the DOD. And the DOD had numbers, right? Winter's Black, Sweet Death, the Virus, all at ringside. Patterson and Todd had nobody. Still ended in a draw. They got to run it back next week.
Another draw leading to overtime. And just like the ladies' match, this got settled there too. Patterson and Todd, the Emberkind, they picked up the win eventually. But seeing these draws happen again for major title shots, it just builds more anticipation, keeps these feuds burning hot, forces these teams to really prove themselves,
Okay, shifting gears from tag teams. The Submission Eliminator match. This was all about Fallen Punishment, just pure dominance. Won it with his Iron Claw finisher. We saw other specialists too, like Fitz with Surrender Your Soul, Cody Harris using the sharpshooter, Gale with the crossface chicken wing. But Fallen Punishment, he just couldn't be stopped. It seriously makes you ask, can anyone actually stop this guy? He's dominating multi-man matches, singles matches. What's next? Is he unstoppable on his way to a title?
He's definitely looking like a huge threat. His ability to lock in that finisher, even against multiple people, even when he must be exhausted, it shows incredible conditioning, incredible focus. That single-minded drive could absolutely change the whole championship scene.
It's a significant question for sure. Which leads us nicely into the main event, the QLW title rematch. Crime Time P challenging Killjoy, and this was under brutality rules. So think extreme rules, but with good weapons allowed, really pushing the limits.
And this match was... well, it was something else. Some seriously unsettling moments, like Killjoy actually biting Primetime P's face. Right. And choking was okay, because, brutality rules. But the weirdest part, that table they set on fire, it just stayed lit for, like, a huge chunk of the match. It just added to that whole strange vibe around Killjoy. It feels like every time he wrestles, somebody glitches out or something bizarre happens. Anyway, Killjoy retains the title. But man, what a spectacle.
That's the fascinating thing, isn't it? That weird, almost supernatural feeling around Killjoy's matches. Whether it's tech glitches or flaming tables that won't go out, it adds this whole other layer to him as champion. It makes his matches feel less about just wrestling and more about, well, some kind of otherworldly force maybe. It's a unique direction for a champ.
Okay, so let's try and tie all this together. What did this premiere really tell us about where Season 13 is headed? Well, clearly, the war between Puma's Den and the Inner Circle is going to be huge. New faces are showing up already to even the scores. That's major. And we've still got those simmering feuds. Diamond Danielle versus Francine Fingers. Even though Fingers won on overtime, that feels far from done. Same with Patterson and Todd versus Quick Draw and Reaper.
And looking ahead, huge title implications coming up fast. Next week, DUI defends the Me and the Boys Championship against Angelo King. And the winner has Fallen Punishment waiting, fresh off that submission win. Wow. Plus, that new triple threat tag title match elimination style, that's going to be must-see. The whole competitive landscape feels like it's shifting under our feet.
I think the biggest question, really, the one hanging over everything, is about Pumastan. They're actively trying to destroy all their competition, getting bigger all the time. What does that actually mean for Me and the Boys wrestling long term? Are we heading towards a total takeover? Is anyone going to be left to challenge them? Could the whole structure of the league change? It sets up a really compelling season, makes you question the league's very identity, maybe?
Incredible intensity, surprising outcomes, really complex stories.
Yeah.
We definitely took a deep dive into this premiere. So much happened. And yeah, it feels like just the beginning.
We hope this gives you a clearer picture, of the power dynamics, the strategies playing out, understanding how these factions, these rivalries, these curveballs are shaping everything. That's key to following this season, I think.
Absolutely. It's not just about wins and losses anymore. It's about the ripple effects, the strategic implications for everyone, for every title moving forward.
Yeah. And hey, before we wrap up, just a quick note. We all want to send our absolute best wishes out to Missy. Heard she's been in the hospital. We're all thinking of you, Missy, hoping you get well really soon. Okay, so one last thing for you all to chew on. If we're seeing champions get jumped, new factions rising just to fight back, how long before these power struggles change Me and the Boys wrestling completely, like irrevocably? Are we entering a totally new era? You got to stay tuned because this season's heating up.